What no one tells you about online jobs in 2025. Everyone's talking about online jobs like they're the holy grail of freedom and flexibility. Work from anywhere, be your own boss, escape the 9-to-5 grind. It sounds perfect, right? Well, I'm about to shatter some illusions today. Because what no one tells you about online jobs in 2025 could be the difference between your success and your complete failure. I've been in the online space for over a decade, I've hired hundreds of remote workers, and I've seen both the incredible success stories and the devastating failures. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on what's really happening in the online job market. And trust me, some of this will shock you. But before we dive deep, hit that subscribe button because what I'm about to reveal is not just going to change how you think about online work, it's going to change your entire approach to your career. Let's start with the biggest lie everyone's telling you, that online jobs are easier than traditional jobs. This is complete nonsense. Here's the truth. Online jobs are harder, much harder. And here's why. When you work in an office, you have structure built in. You show up, someone tells you what to do, you do it, you go home. Online jobs, you are the structure. You are the motivation. You are the accountability. You are everything. Most people aren't prepared for this level of self-management. They think working from home means working in pajamas and taking long lunch breaks. That's a recipe for disaster. Let me tell you about Jennifer from Portland. She landed a dream remote job as a content manager for a tech company. Great salary, full benefits, complete flexibility. 6 months later, she was fired. Why? Because she treated her online job like a vacation. She worked from coffee shops, took calls from noisy environments, missed deadlines, because she thought flexibility meant no accountability. The companies that are hiring online workers in 2025 aren't looking for people who want an easier life. They're looking for people who can deliver results without supervision. Big difference. That's truth number one. Online jobs require more discipline, not less. But here's what really no one tells you. The online job market has completely flipped in 2025. 5 years ago, companies were desperate for remote workers. They were offering premium salaries just to attract talent who could work online effectively. Those days are over. Why? Because now everyone wants to work online. The supply of remote workers has exploded, but the demand hasn't grown at the same rate. Basic economics. When supply exceeds demand, prices drop. This means that average online jobs now pay less than their in-office equivalents. Not more, less. But here's the kicker. While average jobs pay less, exceptional online workers are earning more than ever before. The market has polarized. It's either a race to the bottom or a flight to the top. There's very little middle ground. So which category will you fall into? This brings us to the second harsh truth. Location independence has become location competition. When your job can be done from anywhere, it means anyone from anywhere can do your job. That freelance writer in Ohio is now competing with writers in Ukraine, Philippines, and Bangladesh. This isn't about outsourcing anymore. This is about a truly global talent marketplace where geographic advantages have disappeared. I know a graphic designer in California who was charging $75 per hour for logo design. Then he started losing clients to equally talented designers from Eastern Europe charging $25 per hour. Same quality, same turnaround time, 1/3 of the price. His solution? He stopped competing on price and started competing on strategy. He learned business psychology, consumer behavior, and brand positioning. Now, he charges $200 per hour because he's not just designing logos, he's designing business outcomes. The lesson? In the global online marketplace, you can't compete on cost. You have to compete on unique value. But here's something even more important that no one talks about. The skills that got you hired for online jobs in 2020 are not the skills that will keep you employed in 2025. The online job market is evolving faster than any other sector. What worked last year might be obsolete this year. The workers who thrive are those who can reinvent themselves continuously. Let me give you some examples. 5 years ago, being able to use Zoom effectively was a valuable skill. Today, it's assumed. Social media management used to be about posting content. Today, it's about AI-driven analytics and predictive engagement strategies. The online workers who are commanding premium salaries in 2025 aren't just good at their core skills. They're good at anticipating what their core skills need to become. This is truth number 3. In online jobs, adaptation isn't optional, it's survival. Now let's talk about the isolation factor. This is the elephant in the room that nobody wants to address. Working online can be incredibly lonely. You lose the casual conversations, the spontaneous collaborations, the human connections that make work engaging. This isn't just about missing office birthday parties. This affects your mental health, your creativity, and ultimately your performance. I've seen talented people leave high-paying remote jobs to take lower-paying office jobs just to feel human again. The isolation wasn't worth the extra money or flexibility. But here's what the successful online workers figured out. They didn't just replace their office. They redesigned their entire social and professional ecosystem. They joined co-working spaces, created accountability groups, built networks of other remote professionals. They turned isolation from a weakness into a strategic advantage by being more intentional about their connections. The fourth truth nobody tells you? Online jobs require you to become your own HR department, IT support, and office manager all at once. When your computer crashes, you fix it. When you need professional development, you find it. When you have a conflict with a client, you resolve it. There's no boss to escalate to, no IT department to call, no HR to mediate disputes. This is actually good news if you embrace it, because these skills make you incredibly valuable. But most people aren't prepared for this responsibility. Here's another reality check. The most successful online workers in 2025 aren't employees. They're entrepreneurs who happen to have clients instead of customers. They don't just do their job, they optimize their job. They don't just meet requirements, they identify opportunities. They don't just work on the business, they work on their role in the business. Take David from Austin. He was hired as a virtual assistant for a real estate company. Basic tasks, basic pay. But David studied the business, identified inefficiencies, proposed solutions. Within a year, he became their director of operations. His income tripled, not because he did more of the same work, but because he made the entire business more profitable. This brings us to truth number 5. In online jobs, you're not paid for your time, you're paid for your impact. Traditional jobs reward presence and process. Online jobs reward results and outcomes. This is liberating if you're results-oriented, but it's terrifying if you're used to being paid just for showing up. But here's the biggest secret that no one talks about. The online job market in 2025 isn't really about jobs at all. It's about building your personal economy. The most successful online workers don't have one job. They have multiple income streams that all feed into their personal brand and expertise. They might do consulting for 3 companies, have a course that generates passive income, offer done-for-you services, and speak at industry events. Each stream reinforces the others, creating a diversified and resilient income portfolio. This isn't the gig economy, this is the expertise economy. You're not selling your time, you're monetizing your knowledge. Let me tell you about Maria from Barcelona. She started as a freelance social media manager. Good money, but she was still trading time for dollars. Then she systematized her processes, created templates, trained other freelancers to execute her methods. Now she runs a social media agency that generates 7 figures annually while she focuses on strategy and business development. She went from being a service provider to being a business owner. That's the real opportunity in online work. It's not about finding a better job, it's about building a better business around your expertise. But here's what you need to understand. This transition doesn't happen automatically. It requires strategic thinking, investment in yourself, and the willingness to take calculated risks. Most people treat online jobs as a replacement for traditional employment. The winners treat online jobs as training ground for entrepreneurship. So let me ask you directly. Are you looking for an online job, or are you looking to build an online business? because the strategies for each are completely different. If you want an online job, focus on becoming exceptionally good at one thing that companies need but can't easily find. Specialize, become irreplaceable, charge premium rates. If you want to build an online business, focus on solving problems at scale. Create systems, build teams, develop multiple revenue streams. Both paths can be incredibly rewarding, but you need to be intentional about which path you're on. Here's the final truth that no one tells you about online jobs in 2025. The biggest risk isn't failure, it's playing it safe. The online economy rewards bold moves, calculated risks, and innovative thinking. The people who are just trying to replicate their office job from home are missing the entire opportunity. The future belongs to those who understand that online work isn't about working online, it's about thinking online. It's about leveraging technology, building digital assets, and creating value at scale. So what no one tells you about online jobs in 2025? They're not really jobs at all. They're launching pads for something much bigger. The question isn't whether you can find an online job. The question is whether you can build an online future. If this video opened your eyes to what's really possible in the online economy, smash that like button and subscribe for more unfiltered insights about building wealth online. And drop a comment below. Are you looking for an online job? Or are you ready to build an online business? Because knowing the difference will determine your entire trajectory. The online economy is waiting for you, but it's not going to hand you anything. You have to take it. Are you ready?